lowercase.
Yay!
It's time.
Good evening. Welcome to the August Omaha Astronomical Society meeting. I'm your president, John Larson. For those people joining us remotely, if you have headphones, you can use those. Please mute your microphone until you're ready to speak. You can use your space bar. If you don't want to be seen, you can mute your video. And for members, if they want to file our motions, you can unmute and say your name. How many guests do we have tonight?
Looks like
One.
I guess we need to.
2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One in the back. 7. Oh my goodness. Anybody online, a guest?
New record.
It could be a new record. Okay, who wants to go first and tell them about how they found us?
I'm another Mike.
John.
During the start, when the eclipse was going on, we came to a few of those meetings, just wanted to see what's going on and.
Periodically,
Yeah,
it's like going to OLUG, you know, I go twice a year. That type
Yeah.
of-
Just how many mics are here? Raise your hand. Okay, so we're gonna need to start wearing a uniform.
Hey, listen.
Like sweaters.
Red Dwarf.
I'm
Put
also
numbers on
Tom
the forehead.
Yeah, we need to start
Tom.
signing
Hey, you.
club names.
Back there.
My dad was in the club when he was a kid, back in the '70s, yeah. And,
Cool.
he was all about, I did, he knows just about
How did you hear about us?
that.
Okay.
When Phil Blake was here.
Oh, good. Okay,
So,
Yeah.
and then you guys again,
awesome.
come say hi and. Welcome.
Well, welcome.
Can I hear about you?
Yeah.
Which time?
Well, I don't know. What's your name?
The first time I met you guys were at the Plattsmouth Airport and you let me see Halley's Comet. I was like 16.
Wow.
Him
specifically or?
Nobody here has
Yeah,
been there.
I remember it. I was there.
How many
You weren't, but I was
Toms
there.
here? How many Toms are here? Raise your hand.
But and I've gone to a couple like the things Mahoney and
Huh?
so been here like once or twice.
Oh, wow.
Building's great.
Let's see, Mike Roble, one of the mics. So the way I got here, long-winded way I got here, we were supposed to see the total eclipse. My wife had a bike accident. So I was at the trauma center with her during the eclipse. So I bought a telescope to punish her. I probably had about 2 hours worth of use over the last, 6-7 years. And I retired 35 days ago and I pulled it out and I haven't stopped. So it's not enough clear nights to try and figure out all the technical crap that I can't figure out yet, so. I guess the last eclipse, we came out here, you guys had some displays and stuff.
Oh, the lunar eclipse?
No, it was this, prior to the solar eclipse, you guys had I guess you invited the public and there was quite a few, obviously everybody in astronomy for about a week. So yeah, we begged that out here. And you guys tell us.
Practice run?
Yeah, practice. So,
Great.
so,
Welcome.
Irene.
Hi, Irene.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome.
Hey. Okay. Y'all's stories are great. Mine is a little bit different. Common things happen, the sun rises, the moon rises, but then there's other stuff when I look up and there's been situations where I've seen stuff just simply gazing. I seen Mercury going retro, and I was like, when I looked up, you guys, my head was this way on my balcony, and by the time I was done, I was a completely different way. And interest peaked watching Hollywood movies, Stargate, Men in Black, blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to find fellow people, like-minded as myself.
Sure.
And despite my ears. I'm here.
Welcome.
Opinions, rather, sorry. That was a different sentence.
We call those movies gateway movies.
They are. I just watched that, like.
It's also, that's a Stargate pun too. So. Oh, welcome. We didn't have anybody remote, right? Okay. So if you become a member, or if you recently become a member, you will also be a member of the Astronomical League, and you receive the quarterly Reflector magazine. I don't know if anybody has one here. Here's an old copy that I have. This is from 2018. I need to get a newer issue in my demo. We do have an observing site near Weeping Water we call Astro Park. It's our little dark site. It's better than Omaha. There's a little bit of light encroaching in, but it's still better than Omaha. We do have a telescope loan program. So you can sort of check out a telescope, see what it's like, try a different one. There are different styles. And see which one that you kind of may purchase in the future. You know, gives you a great way to try before you buy. We have our monthly newsletter, the Stella. It's got a lot of information, great articles. We do have a Discord server for members to converse and collaborate. And if you're at the business meeting, we can vote on motions. And oh, yes. There is an app called Astrospheric. They're also a website. And we kind of did their club information. So Astrospheric allows you to do cloud predictions over the next few days by the hour. So it'll say, you know, 10 o'clock tonight, there might be 40% chance of clouds or 0% chance of clouds, temperatures, wind, things like that. And there's a code that will kind of give you all the pro features of the app that's available through the club. So you can kind of do that if you need it, if you want, during the break. Thanks for that reminder, Mike. Couple of club important dates coming up. This Tuesday is the Astronomy in the Parks at Lake Zarinsky. That is an outreach event. And a member event is the OAS Fall Star Party at Astro Park on the 16th at 5 p.m. Is everyone hearing me okay? Do I need the microphone?
Yes. Strong, yes.
I knew I was missing someone.
Are non-members welcome to join these two events?
The star parties.
The public star parties are, yeah.
But what is these
The fall
two?
party is a member.
Oh,
Astronomy in the park, absolutely. Everyone and everyone is invited to that. The other one is a member only event at.
Gotcha.
at our
So-
website.
So you just need to make a friend here and have them take you.
Yeah.
Or $25 a year gets you.
How much a year?
25.
To pay that money?
It's that mic in the blue. How many John?
You're the only one today.
I'm the only John tonight.
No.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Mike. That's a big mics.
All right, well, we'll have a little.
I forgot. I just.
Dance off later. Yeah. Dance off.
I'm gonna be outside the telescopes at 9. Did anybody visit Astro Park in the last month? I have not gone to check the logs. I don't know. So that number may change. So for now, I'm gonna just put 0.
Anyone online?
You'd think online.
Yeah.
Been down to check the log either, unfortunately.
Okay,
So is there a log down there? You
Star party.
You go down or?
yeah, it's just to help with numbers. It's just a book in a Ziploc in a box.
So how far is it from the fairgrounds down there? I mean, I'm kind of a native cast, so
You know where the gun range is?
I just remember going to the fair. I mean, I know that road to the fair.
Yeah,
County
it's
fair.
like 10, maybe not even 10 minutes from there.
Yeah. So you know where Nutrient is in Weeping Water?
I know where the loft used to be.
Don't help.
Okay, never mind.
That's up in Manly.
Used to be like just right up,
It's-
used to be like right up Don't ask me how long ago.
So it's Stephanie Lane, which is right near, it's just west of 120th Street.
Is that kind of far from Penny Lane?
I don't know. I don't.
You just go through Weepy Water, take a right, go over the hill and around the bend.
Yeah, pretty much.
By Garfield. all the way
They
down.
are currently building a brand new bridge on Stephanie Lane. Sometimes open, sometimes closed. The old bridge, I mean. The new bridge hasn't been open as far as I've seen. So. Normally, I've seen stuff in our channels on Discord about who's been out there recently, but with all the clouds. There's been less chatter about, I'm going down tonight, who's going, kind of thing.
Nebraska Star Party.
And the Nebraska Star Party kind of put a kibosh on that. There was a lot going on
Be interesting to see what pays that.
there. Awards chair.
We have an award tonight.
We have an award tonight.
Excited to say. So here, let me put up my things. Oh boy, you're gonna make me look up, aren't you?
Yes.
Favorite. Okay. Thank you.
Kelly.
And if you want to step up.
Okay, so one of our members completed 100 observations for the Carbon Star program. Which is very exciting. Bill Bond has completed these observations, and so Robert Toby with the Variable Star program, Carbon Star program, sent a letter and a certificate and a pin for Bill Bond. And he says, I hope you enjoyed the challenges of the Carbon Star program. This program contains primarily variable stars that may change colors as they vary in brightness. Two other programs that might be of interest with variable stars are the Variable Star program and the Binocular Variable Star program. And so he wishes Bill clear skies. So Bill, if you want to come on up, I have your certificate here and your pin and the letter from Mr. Tobey. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Give Bill a hand.
You can,
Yeah.
just put the microphone down.
All right. Thank you very much.
Maybe not that's nice.
Okay, smile.
You're on the spot.
Yes, Bill has worked very hard. He's gotten a lot of awards, actually. And I think, what was the next one you were gonna work on, Bill? The Double Star Binocular. He's gonna catch them all, I think. He's doing a fantastic job. So, yeah, there's so many astronomical league awards. There's something for everybody, from complete beginners to people who are very experienced. So check them out. Oh, if anybody's been helping with the library, public library program that Mike has coordinated for us, like the Saturdays where you help with the telescopes, that kind of thing. If you track your hours, there is. Yeah, absolutely. So there certainly is something for everybody. So, and he has a website up there for it too. I think.
Oh, I already moved it.
You already moved it?
It's just to protect.
So yeah, check out the awards. There's definitely something for everybody, and a lot of them come with a cool pin. Which I think is cool. Thank you, Bill. Give my hand.
Observing.
That's
true.
All right, so sheriff's office.
We have planets. Jupiter rises around midnight and mostly visible after that. Saturn reaches opposition on the 27th, and we're seeing the northern face of the rings. And as the years go by, we'll basically not see them face on as we have. We'll see more of an edge. Neptune rises before midnight. Uranus is more visible in AM. Venus is inferior conjunction August 13th, and after that, a few days later, you'll see it mostly in the morning sky. The moon is always a great guidepost for a lot of these things. Mars is near the moon. It's fainter than it was earlier in the year. Mercury in the west after sunset, lower in the sky. And August 24th, if we don't have clouds, we'll get to see the moon occulting Antares. I think that'll be pretty interesting to watch. A couple of years ago, it occulted, I think, one of the stars in Scorpius, and we watched it from Flanagan Lake. So that's always fun to see. Full moon, we have 2 full moons this month. 1st August, we saw a super moon. I guess some sort of a super moon since it was cloudy. Well, the next one is August 30th. And so we get 2 this month. New moon, August 16th. We're starting to see meteors. The Perseid meteor shower is active between July 17th and August 24th. Peak is around August 13th, which would be sometime next week. And if you're at a dark sky site, the rate at peak can reach even 100 meteors an hour. So that's exciting. And if you're looking for comets, there are 2 comets currently. C2023 E1 Atlas, which if you were at the star party, quite a few people did pull that up on their scopes. Very faint, but seen, I think, in 10-inch and above dogs, a lot of the ones who managed to see it. And Comet 12P Pons Brooks, this is an older comet that basically underwent an outburst earlier in July and should be visible again in dark skies, maybe getting brighter. And they said if you're in a darker sky, maybe even 6 to 8 inch telescopes. So I don't know that, but we'll see. I think that's all I have. Maybe a few pictures that I took at the star party, just a couple. This was an interesting story because I thought the people in the boat were going to destroy my dark night vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were very loud, a lot of lights and screaming, expletives, etc.
That pontoon boat had blue lights all the way down the side, strip lighting, and it was extremely bright.
But I thought this was great for, photography. And I have several pictures of their lights lighting up, other things, but this one was my favorite. This was just lightning the one night that we were there, the reddish, the orangish glow in the bottom. There were so many clouds that you could just see the lightning light up the clouds, the break in the clouds, and you could still see the stars where the clouds weren't obstructing the stars. It was actually pretty neat to see lightning under the skies. So yeah.
Which direction are you looking?
West or east.
How do you use like an SLR camera or do you use like a cell phone?
No, this is all DSLR camera.
Very good.
Thank you.
Was it?
And I think there might be one more. Yep, and this was the crescent moon. That's one of the nights. This was almost a 2.7 or 3% crescent. And in the corner to the left is Venus. The little white dot that you see. I did not catch Mercury in this one because I think it was a little too cloudy, but. And these were people on the hill from where I was standing, which I think created a nice little backdrop. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Yep, that's you. Get ready, folks. Another busy month.
Yeah, so pretty full August. And there's actually one that's not even on there, so
Miss.
yeah. First up, on the 8th, this coming Tuesday, standard issue astronomy in the park at Lake Serinsky at the soccer fields off 156th and F Street. We will set up right around sunset. And so all are welcome to attend, and if you want to invite your friends or whatever, we're happy to have you. Following that up then, that Thursday on the tenth, we have kind of a fun event, hopefully for clear skies. It's the kickoff event for Valley Days. It'll be held at the Quasar Drive-In Movie Theater. And it's what they call their Classics for a Cause event. So it's a classic car show followed by a classic movie. There's free admission, but it's suggested that you make a free will donation. The charity or the benefactor of this particular event will be the Valley Public Library, who is one of our Library Telescope partners. And we will be setting up in the back just next to the playground area. We did this once last year for Spaceballs. This year, this time, they're gonna be showing E.T., the extraterrestrial. So kind of thematic there. And should be hopefully a nice night out there. They have really, I mean, there's wide open horizons and decently dark skies. So it should be kind of fun. Let's see, then the next day after that, the Friday, the 11th, we have another star party at the Springfield Library. Carmen and I did one of those last month or the month before.
It was June, yeah.
Yeah, month before. And it was nice. We had a dozen people or so, and they were really engaged, and we're hoping there was a rodeo thing going on that night, so we're hoping this one will be a little bit better attended. You're welcome to come out and join us there. Let's see.
12th.
12th. Oh, that's not on the list. The 12th, we have a Hitchcock Nature Center night sky event, be kind of a meteor watching event. We did this last year. There were hundreds of people.
Yeah.
We did it at last year was at Crescent. This year it's going to be at the actual Hitchcock Center, right? Yeah.
There's construction going on at the ski place, so.
So we'll just go out there, we'll set up, last time there was just a ton of people, they just set up lawn chairs and not everybody even looked through the telescopes, but there were just all kinds of people around. It was just really nice evening. Then we have Oakdale Elementary School on Sunday.
Oops,
I don't think that's
sorry. It's in the
August 22nd.
online thing. I want to say that's the 22nd.
the 22nd, which is a Tuesday.
If you're familiar with our Kennedy Elementary STEAM nights, it's the same kind of a setup. It's just their back to school night.
So that'll be
The sun's out, we'll see it. If not, we just fun activities indoors.
we'll have laser mazes and whatever other activities, maybe some eclipse models or something like that. There's also the Iowa Star Party, if anybody's interested, is the 17th through the 20th at the White Rock Conservancy, and
That's informative. We don't have official.
that's not an OAS event, just as a thing. Then the 25th, we have Mahoney State Park Star Party, Nebraska Star Party sponsored event that we tend to carry the weight for. So we'll be out there, and that's as good as usual. It's a nice time. I almost always have a really good crowd out there. Really nice.
We had 50 people last Friday, even though it was half. cloud.
Yeah, marginal skies, and Louis and John and I were out there, and I think it turned out pretty good. But that same night is in Shenandoah, Iowa, at the Shenandoah Public Library is a star party. They're one of our Library Telescope partners. There'll actually be, I'll be going out there a little early. We're gonna do an eclipse talk and program. And then at the sunsets, we'll move into a star party for that. On the August 27th is Waterloo Days. We did this event last year, and it was pretty good. This year is supposed to be a lot better. We're gonna have a better location. We're gonna be set up in it just next to the Methodist Church. And we'll have solar observing if it's clear, and then we'll just have a booth and talk about their library telescope and light pollution and kind of Earth Day type, like we do at the Earth Day booth. We're gonna set up the solar system walk on a trail that runs kind of right by there. And we're gonna have I think it's at 2:15 and at 3, we have scheduled tours of the solar system. So if anybody wants to lead a tour, we would love to not, I would love to not have to do it myself. So if anyone wants to volunteer for that, I'd welcome that.
You have a script?
No,
Just read the board.
read the sign and look at the people.
I hate presentations where all they do is read the slide.
You know,
If you want a script, I can get you a
if
script.
anybody who feels like they have any sort of, you know, I just, you know, or you make stuff up, they won't know the difference. Don't do that. That's-
14 planets, good for a walk.
Mike, is it the one
We're
that
now-
I have the sign post for that you got from Doug?
No, that's the one that OAS owns that we made, that was the one we had at NSP,
Got it.
which hopefully, I don't know if
Doug
anybody in
Kappa's
it with
got
NSP and actually did it or not, but.
I drove by it.
That was a quick tour.
I have a friend who asked a question about that. Did you have Pluto or the Kuiper Belt?
There was no Pluto.
Okay, I
No,
didn't think there was, they thought they
There's
saw
what I
one.
call Pluto Ridge, so if you kept going up just over the hill, you would have gotten to Pluto, and actually at one point there was a big dead raccoon or whatever,
It
whatever.
was
it
a.
That dead porcupine.
was basically where the porcupine lay was pretty much,
Porcupine Pluto.
Very symbolic.
yeah. it was- I did have a chance to hitchhike back from Neptune, which was fun. As I was putting them out the first time, I thumbed a ride back with somebody, so. Anyway, so that's on, Sunday from 1 to 4, and we'll set up around noon.
Lords and Gardens is on the 26th. Which is the night before the Waterloo Days.
Ooh. That's also, oh, that is on there.
Yeah, they did their calendar and kind of informed us, so.
I need to update the
Yeah,
public
yeah,
calendar is not up to date, I'm sorry. So yeah, Lawrence and Gardens, standard issue event there, those are always fun, there's usually 20 to 25 people. We set up at the Rose Garden. Meet at the front gates a little bit before sunset, and then they escort us back, you just drive back into the gardens and. Not always the best viewing, but we're always able to find a few things, and the people really appreciate it.
Is there a charge to get in or just say you're part of OAS?
Yeah, if you're coming from our side, you'll just show up and we'll caravan in, and there's no charge for us to be in there. It is charge if you just want to go and do it as a member of the gardens, it's like, I don't know, $20
And you have to sign up because it's.
Yeah, the ticket, like up to 25 spaces for it.
Well, it's probably the same deals I dealt with down at the, what's the museum? Durham. I went down there for a friend of a friend had an event down there, and I'm like, so why am I paying admission when I just pay it twice? I mean, I go twice a year, maybe I paid the membership.
Yeah, so and if you do volunteer to go out there, we usually get you'll get a free pass to come back during the daytime.
But you gotta work.
As long as you gotta earn that free pass.
We didn't get one.
We didn't get
Last week.
Oh,
They didn't hand them out this time.
we'll try and fix that. I have a bunch of extras too, if anybody really wants to go.
Is Waterloo Days a library telescope event?
Yes, if you want to count Waterloo Days towards your library telescope award, that would absolutely be a valid. Same thing with the Valley Days Quasar Drive-In thing, that would also qualify for as a library telescope event.
What was the date for the Shenandoah event?
Shenandoah is on the 25th. It's the same day as Mahoney. So I don't need a ton of people that want to go. I know we definitely want to send people to Mahoney still, but if I can get one or two, I'll probably drag Carmen along with me to that one. If we can get one or two others, that would be great. New Day, that's,
Nelson Produce Farms.
and
That's a new one that John Johnson just sent.
so that's on August 26th. That's a Sunday event, which we don't have many of those.
That's after Waterloo Days.
So-
But
so
it does say something
25th,
change.
26th, 27th, and 20, and
The 28th
and the 27th, so 2 on the 27th, there, so go from one to the other.
and then August 28th for Papillion La Vista.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, the big push here, we start PLV outreach events again. Those are held at the Carol Joy Hauling place out there, just
Ashland.
just past Sac and Mahoney.
What's your question?
Well, I just thought I'd comment, the Mahoney State Park one on the Friday, the 26th. There's also gonna be a bunch of Girl Scouts, cause they have asked if I guess I did the presentation last time, before they went over.
Okay.
So you're gonna get that group of
Which
Girl
day?
Scouts
Okay.
on the Friday, the 26th.
Yeah, I think we had that last year. where
25th.
they
Yeah, we had it
had like
last year.
50
26th
girls
is a
descended upon
Saturday.
us.
25th.
25th, okay.
Thank you.
And then that, those Mahoney events, of course, it's a Friday, but if it's cloudy on Friday, then we'll move and have it on the following Saturday. Which
The Girl Scouts wouldn't do that, I don't think.
would be the same as Loritzen, and we can double up again, maybe. Okay, so Pavilion Vista, for those who don't know, we get basically every sixth grader in the Pavilion La Vista School District cycles through one school at a time, through that, and it's every month, not every, but almost every Monday and Wednesday from the end of August through the middle of October. And so we really need, anybody who's has some free time and is willing to do it, because we end up with a lot of the same people, and I just don't want people to get burned out, and it's a lot of fun, because you get kids and, you show a kid Saturn for the first time, and you see them, if they saw it or not, because their face lights up, and most of them, some of them are just looking at their phone, and they look, and they go back to their phone, but.
It doesn't look like the Hubble picture.
Yeah, so it's roughly like 15-minute group, every 15 minutes there's a new group.
It's like lightning
There's usually
round,
2 or 3 groups and then just, and you're done.
lightning round
On the
astronomy.
calendar?
They will be.
Oh,
I-
those are at the bottom.
It's a big list that we have to work into the calendar.
I will make sure that I get all of these updated onto the public calendar, yes.
If you're working on your outreach award through AL, it's a great place to collect the events and hours that you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
You
really.
can do it once.
For that.
Oh,
Yeah,
You can
any
really,
of
you can really
these,
farm
but
some outreach hours.
Pavilion La Vista, I mean, for your first award, you only need 10 hours.
But they have to be in 2-hour segments.
Yes.
Yeah,
so different
five events, but 2 hours. So 5 of these would get you your first. And then you start collecting from there, but it's a great way to do that.
Document
Okay.
on hours.
There's not total.
So everything that you guys are speaking about, for the most part, is club members stuff?
We're talking about to ask for volunteers on our end, but all of these except for the Loritzen event are open to the public. As far as I know.
We take our telescopes out, the public shows up, they look through them. That's essentially what these are.
But she could go on any of those.
So yeah, you can show up to any of these events and look through our telescopes that we'll have set up.
You do need a telescope.
Or I go as a member all the time and I don't usually bring a telescope, I just.
Yeah, if you're a member and you don't want to bring a telescope, we would love still just to have you there, just
You can mooch off our telescope.
Just to help.
There's
You
always
can help
somebody.
navigate people around, you can answer questions, pass out brochures, we'll
Point
put
out
you to work.
stars.
That person's free over there. Their telescope's free. That person,
Plus you can always
stuff.
put out a lot.
Some people bring binoculars and
Telescope
I let people look through their binoculars and that's great too.
I read, yes.
Question.
What's the intent for you?
You know, it's small. That like explains star math and directions and lingo. that
We've
you
got some
guys
links
give
on the
out.
web. I can show you in the break, some links on the website.
Small books, big books, we got all
Barnes
kinds
and
of,
Noble.
Also,
turn left at Orion.
Just ask them. Like stars and planets.
yeah, but
I mean, it gets you started. There's even like one.
ABCs of stargazing that we put in the Stella every month.
Stella.
in the who?
We'll show you. We'll show you.
Our newsletter.
There's a break coming up and I'll show you.
Yeah, so the first one of those is August 28th. And then Wednesday, the 30th, and then also September 6th, Monday, the 11th, Wednesday, so
Yeah.
on down the list.
I'll be able to talk.
Yes,
So usually at this time, you'd have a piece of paper going around where you could sign up for each individual one.
correct. We now are super high tech
Do it online.
and our,
Do it on the website.
Look at that.
our IT manager, John Larson
So
has,
I'm gonna show you the changes I made specifically around Pavilion La Vista. Okay, Normally, you had to choose a date and then you'd submit it, and then when you wanted to do another one, you had to choose the date and submit it. So here's how I've done it. I go through,
We can't see that.
yeah, hang on.
Can you get to it, copy it in the chat link too.
You can always take a picture of it, so that way you can like. Yep. It's my handwriting, I've never read it again.
Prez@astro.com.
See online, fill out this form.
So if I wasn't gonna sign up for any of these, I could say other. And I'll do PLV, and then when I hit next, it's gonna show me all the PLV dates. All right,
Oh, cool.
so you can do Monday and Monday and Monday. And when you submit it, it'll have all those together. So you don't have to keep redoing the form over for Papaya and La Vista. You can look at your calendar and choose your dates and then submit it.
But you have to remember PLV in the other.
Yes.
Yeah, or if you're signing up for something else, it's just one of those has to have something in it, that's all.
You just hit other without typing in PLV. will
It said you had to have something.
Oh. How about dot, dot, dot?
Dot would work.
You can also just send an email to outreach@omahaastro.com and John and I will get that and can help keep track of it that way. You can post in the Discord if you're able to attend or want to attend. That also counts, will in a good way. Keep tracking. Definitely, if you're not on Discord yet, sign up because that's the best way to keep track of all these events. And if they're clouded out or something, that's the first place that it gets posted when it gets canceled, for things like that. And then yeah, September 2nd, very important day. It's my birthday. Tell of you eyepieces make great presents. But no, we have on September 22nd is Astronomy Day.
Yes,
It's the day after Stephen
I
King's
promise.
birthday.
I have the one that was in April.
There's one in
There's
April.
one in the spring and one in the fall.
Wow.
So if anybody has any, it's also, that's a Mahoney event, so that'll probably be what we'll do, but if anybody has any great ideas and wants to do something else for Astronomy Day, I would love to entertain those ideas. You can actually do an event and submit it to the AL for an award, but we probably won't ever win because that would be a conflict of interest.
Did you say the 22nd?
September 22nd.
It depends on who you look at, yeah. AL has September 22nd, First Sky has May 7th.
So it's a regional. This website region, just kidding.
I'm actually the new Astronomy Day coordinator for the Astronomical League.
Oh, congratulations.
It was the 22nd.
The 22nd, 2023. Is
And
that a Saturday?
it's a Saturday.
They've had two
Friday.
astronomy days a
Friday.
year for some time.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, it's a Friday. And you can actually do it anytime during that weekend or thereabouts.
Yeah, we never do it on astronomy day. We do it on Earth Day.
So there's one in the spring and one in the fall. And we're trying to, there's a guy named Gary something with an F, Gary F. He was the guy, he's been doing it for 40 years and he's finally sick and tired of doing it. So I'll be taking that over and we're gonna try and make it coordinated so that everybody, all of the big astronomy groups are doing everything kind of concurrently and staying on the same page with that. So
Kind of like the International Year of Astronomy in 2009.
sure.
It's my first day, so. Question, do you guys ever do like organized viewings, maybe across the world or in the United States?
There's like International Observe the Moon Night.
Meaning like,
Where a lot of people all over the world at the same night and they'll live stream and you can go and like see people's telescopes from all over their view of the moon, so you can watch the moon for 24 hours straight because somebody on somewhere in the world live streaming the whole time. things like that, or when we had the last big.
Yeah, I've live
eclipse,
streamed it a couple times.
a couple Mays ago, John had was like the primary feed for SLU. During that event that we actually had here on campus. Well, actually, yeah, we had. Yeah, for that one, we were just here last.
Everybody else was clouded out, so I got chosen.
But yeah, you guys just stay in Nebraska, Iowa for the most part, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're, you know, the Omaha area kind of, there's a club in Lincoln that does some stuff, and then there's the.
Flat Valley.
Flat Valley Astronomical Observers that kind of work in the Kearney-ish area.
Then there's the Ames and Des Moines.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clubs everywhere.
Yeah, and Gary Fugi's
Kansas City has a club.
up north in Decatur has a club.
Yeah.
But you guys don't like travel to go be like, we wanna see what your guys' view is, y'all don't.
Kinda, it depends whether one of us has time.
Not so much as a club, maybe individually we would do that.
Yeah,
I won't really schedule an outreach event or like something like this, more than an hour away, because that's asking a lot.
There are activities that the Astronomical League, which is an organization of clubs, puts on that are regional, and people go to those.
Or things like the Nebraska Star Party. that
Nebraska
just
Star
had,
Party.
where everybody went to Valentine, Nebraska for a week, and
there were 385 people at that one.
This one, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's plenty for outreach.
Do you speak?
So would you normally have all these items on your calendars?
There is a public calendar on our website.
Well, I've been
On
there and I don't
Facebook?
find much typically.
We'll show that in the break too.
Huh?
We'll show that in the break.
At least half of these are on there currently, and there's a few that snuck up on me.
Okay,
I
maybe I'm
I updated
on the
it.
wrong website. then.
None of the Papillion La Vista ones would be on the public calendar.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
those, the
because
Pavilion La Vista ones are not public, those are just for the little kids.
yeah,
But there's a club calendar.
well,
Club,
yeah.
you know, so,
Is that the one you're talking about as being public?
no.
No, it's not something different.
Yeah, we have to have two separate calendars, one that the public sees.
Ah.
That has all the public events, and then we have the member events that we're working on.
Okay.
I'm started working that in my head earlier today.
The majority of what was up on the screen though would be on that public calendar. And if it's not on this calendar, if it's not there
Yes.
right now.
And I think one of the other things, especially for new
This is
people
the
to
public
know,
calendar.
is
Okay.
that we're starting
Thank
the busiest time of our year around outreach. Mostly because Papillion La Vista does this in the fall. So and other things have come up. So this is very busy right now through October,
Then it'll be,
and then there's nothing till spring.
We don't.
Other than the second Tuesdays out at Lake Zerinsky that we do year round.
Yeah.
So if it seems a little overwhelming right now, for those of you who are new, don't sweat it. Do what you can, participate where you want or don't. But this is busy time right now.
if you want to just come along and figure out how it goes, that's great.
Sure.
When I first started to do outreach, I just wandered around and listened to people. And that's how I picked up how to do it. Just listening, things like that, you know, I would show up, it's like, hi, my name is John, you know, kind of thing. And,
Still haven't.
and now look at me. I've got, I only spent 5 years to get my award, turn in my award to get my outreach award. I had it done, but I just didn't turn it in.
You need your next round.
I need to do my next round, and I could do that this time. That's right. Hours are hours, right?
Right.
Stafford,
Yes.
Telescope Lone Star. Oh, you're up.
shall I come to you? Hello, everybody. Feel like I'm a lounge singer.
Supposed to live.
So it is.
Yes,
intentional.
we had some checkout activity the week before the Nebraska Star Party. The binoculars went out along with one of our 10-inch Dobsonians. The week after a Nebraska Star Party, we got 3 returns. We got the 8-inch Schmidt and the light switch came back. And so it's truncated, but the Celestron 130 SLT also was back, so. My son's garage is filling up again. And I'm slowly plodding along on the 13-inch. And that's about all I have.
Wait till you hear about stuff in the business meeting in terms of telescopes. Oh, boy. Wiggles his eyebrows. I'm just gonna call you Motorsman because there's too many mics.
That works.
Okay. And Chair Jordan.
Hello, hello everyone.
Hi there.
Huh?
I said, hey there, hi there. Ho. Good evening and good night.
I love it. That's what I need every time for the intro. So tonight's program will be a little bit more interactive than usual. And I have a quick tidbit for something else before that, but I want to ask each of you, if you can, you don't have to, but if you have a problem or you're trying to troubleshoot something, or you have, say, a program or event coming up that you need something fleshed out for you, and you want to know what's the best schedule for my event tonight, or you want to know something about astronomy, that you have a question for your telescope, anything astronomy, telescope, upcoming events related. If you have a question about it that you just cannot find the answer to, or you don't know where to start with it, I want you to think of a question for that and then bring it when the program actually starts. Does that make sense?
So think of a question now. And hold
Yeah.
it in your head. Like, is this your card? You put it back in the deck.
Write it down.
Yes, exactly. So maybe I'll take, let's see if we have, whenever we start, maybe I can take like 10 to 15 questions. So if you have a kind of urgent one that you're just like, it's really racking your brain, you don't know what to do, or you're stuck on something, or you have a deadline, bring that to the board here, and it's going to be a little bit interactive tonight. Like I said, I can't say any more. Besides that, it's going to be a surprise.
Okay, cool. Shall we take a 10-minute break? Go get back at 8:30?
Show some pictures.
Yeah, I can show your pictures.
Every day.
Now everybody's like, but I wanted to get.
You could still get up and get a snack.
So Tom, you took some pictures out at the Nebraska Star Party, is that correct?
Yep.
Get some info.
Somebody get the lights.
Sorry.
It is not easy with the brightness. Don't fall asleep.
That's Tuesday night.
That's Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. There's your thunderstorm.
There's the thunderstorms.
Tuesday. That was Tuesday. Yeah. Yep.
Got a real nice one, Stafford in front.
I looked it up.
There's a little bit brighter version. You can see more clouds in there.
These are just taken, holding the button.
Is that your car?
Yep. It captures more color than our eyes.
Yeah.
There's Big Dipper, Little Dipper.
And then there's a Milky Way. Getting closer to that good one here coming up.
There's actually a meteor in there.
Oh, I saw that.
And a plane.
Right here.
Yeah, the meteors that's the plane. Now keep going over to there, right there above you. No. Back.
There it is.
Oh,
Little more over my way. Nope, the other way.
Tom, I'm reversed.
I know, right there. Now straight.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, right there. And that's the meteor.
Players.
And what meteor shower is that from? The one that showed up there.
Wait, Tom, is that one? Are you sure that's one or is that two?
Oh, there's another one in there. No, those are meteors, satellites. Satellites. That could be.
Hard to say.
Could you tell the line is a plane?
Well, go over to the plane, John.
Well, why don't we show the next one? Cause that's,
Yeah, there's a good one of the plane, the next one.
see the
That's a
dots?
plane. See the dots in it? They flash.
The lights blink.
Flashing, it makes a series of dots.
And the color, because.
Oh, that's Starlight.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah, there's.
Yeah, he was in a lot of them.
You're
Flashing red lights.
Flashing
So
red
that's an
aircraft,
Nice picture of the.
airplane.
That's over Omaha from where we
A
were.
spaceship before.
Wow.
Are you laughing?
The International Space Station.
You can see that up there.
No, I'm saying, as
That's in the middle.
y'all have been gazing or have experienced in your lifetime, have you guys ever seen a spaceship or something that was very unexplainable?
If you don't know what it is, it isn't a UFO. This is a 2-minute exposure when the clouds finally broke. I do not have tracking,
Sort of like in the.
but my camera will track, so that's 2 minutes in.
I can see the borders of Dorlandia.
Are y'all?
There's
Yep,
the
that's the
flag.
border. There's a flag, yeah.
There's Diana's tent.
That's the country they
And
made
that
up.
was, Troy.
What was that?
We'll track it.
That's Troy's tent.
What night is this? This is Wednesday night.
Oh,
Right after the clouds
Troy,
finally
yeah.
broke south.
Matt, is it Matt?
Matt,
it was Matt.
Matt.
Okay.
That was a good one. Well, when the clouds disappeared.
This one here, if you zoom in, you'll see the coat hangers up there.
Yep, I see it up in the.
Help me.
It's right above the air. Keep zoom in again. Now bring it opposite direction for me. Okay, stop there, the other way.
The laser pointer.
Yeah,
The other right?
yep, the other way.
The other right. Slide it the other way.
Keep going. See it right there? You just pull it out. It's right in the middle at the top.
Upper center.
That's a coat hanger. There you go.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
What's a coat hanger?
Well, zoom in a little more.
It's an asterisk.
An asterisk, and it's a string of like
It's
5 stars.
Looks like
Part of a constellation.
Looks like.
See, it really looks like a coat hanger.
Oh.
The big, the Big Dipper is an asterisk.
Telescope.
Doesn't it look like an old one you used to see when we were kids with the wood and the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now. I see.
They named it before they made them out of plastic.
Yeah. Before plastic took over, right?
397.
They haven't updated the sky. That's for a later revision.
Now you're getting into just 1-minute exposures of this. It's a little.
This without using a tracker.
Without a tracker.
This is built into a camera to do that.
Well, it's open for me.
Your camera is a.
Pentax.
What?
Yeah, with GPS modules, some of them have them built in.
We're not gonna do Star Trek.
No, that's what I thought was really neat.
So.
And then of course, this one here, John Johnson showed up late, and I've got another picture I thought was here. And across the bottom, you got all this red, and at the end, you'll see John's face. There's Andromeda Galaxy.
The nearest star.
That's a 14mm lens.
So avoiding. Yeah, that's hard.
Yep. And over there, Sonali's in there, but she's little short. You were in that one.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Yep.
Now a break.
Oh, we have some free
Oh,
heirloom tomatoes.
Open the one that says old on there, on my thing, John. Show them are the nebula or the Aurora Borealis from my driveway. John back here didn't get to see it. That's in Omaha.
Away, then there's six. then there's
The tree looks like it's glowing.
Yeah. Yeah, but you see like, like 30 on it is a glow, that's what it looks like, but it's a gray haze.
To see it right. Wow.
And that's my favorite spot to go out to. It's out by Neil's Woods, so I'm north of Omaha.
Okay.
And if you turn to the east, which in the picture is to the right, you got perfect view way down because you can see the highway, you see the Surfside Club and that's Blair in the background. And I went up there to try and see if I could see the Aurora Borealis. It didn't show up until I got home. There's a little glow of green in there, but
A big W.
Keep that on this phone.
Yeah, I wish I'd started this one.
Occasionally, very occasionally.
His pictures are in
Alaska.
I'm north of Arlington. Alaska.
Whichever's closest.
Yeah. Yeah, it was -85.
Chocolate.
Over here at -10 than it is up there.
Can we pause the recording?
Unzipped t-shirt, jeans, tennis shoes.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay. Well, hi, Jordan. I have to look up there rather than look down on my screen.
Hello.
I'm gonna turn up a little bit.
Cloudy nights is around. I do not ever follow advice.
Yeah, it's not bad. But this guy was on the ice, so he really got ripped off by Astro.
Well, no.
Sellers still got scammed. Somebody hacked into the. Something. They got passwords, websites, all kinds of things.
Mr. Park's a gun shop.
The text is being daddy.
Herb York still runs Astromart. Herb York still runs Astromart.
May have to pause your video, Jordan.
Okay.
Camera.
Yeah, it's become a gun shop.
Oh, here we go. There.
There we go. I can see it.
But this scammer got a hold of the guy's account.
Yes.
That was how it.
It's time for our program, everybody. It should be a fun, interactive. I hope you were thinking of your questions. I'm talking.
You talking here?
Jordan,
Yes.
whenever you're ready.
Okay, sounds good. Quick thing before we begin. From last month's program, I really appreciate Krista Tesson and James Bryan. I got your emails. Thank you for the suggestions for some future speakers and contact information for some people that we can reach out to for future speakers. I'm still looking for more as well. And if there's anyone within the group, maybe 1 to 2 people that would like to, that have a fun experience or some knowledge, wisdom that they want to share, or something else that they've been working on, I'd love to chat with you more and see about maybe having you present January or February of next year. I've kind of got this year maybe fleshed out with some ideas and people. And then for tonight's program, like I said, it's a little bit of surprise. I hope you all did come up with a few questions. We are going to explore something that's relatively new for the internet, and I'm still exploring it, but it's on one side very scary, kind of terrifying because I've watched too many movies growing up. On the other side, it's incredible what this thing can do, and it is the Chat GPT AI. I can't see any hands, but if you want to raise your hand in the room or online, or you can do it to yourself if you have heard about this or looked into it. And if you have, that's great. If you haven't, that's great too, because this thing is pretty interesting and unique. And I've been having a conversation with it all day long, and I'm learning so many things. So tonight, first, I wanted to kind of introduce what this is. And then your questions, I want you to bring to the board some questions that maybe this thing could help you solve. And it's, like I said, it's interactive. And this is kind of like the expert tonight, this AI system. And on a side note, I do apologize. My kid in the background may be crying a little bit. I'm trying to calm him down here, but let's get started. Okay, so ChatGPT, relatively new to the internet world, but it's kind of taking off with a storm. And a lot of the stuff that you may be hearing is either the news outlets are going to be coming up with some gloom and doom thing about Terminator AI technology coming around soon. And that's where I talk about like the terrifying part, because this thing has so much knowledge, even more than Wikipedia, I think. And the capabilities it has of writing things or telling you information is incredible, but it's also sometimes not quite accurate. So you also, of course, need to do your research afterwards. And it's written by a machine. So if you try to use some of the text that it gives you, hold on. If you try to use some of the text that it gives you online, say in an email or on your website, Google is going to flag you and say that you are fake. So now they've come up with websites even to take what the AI writes and turn it into something that sounds more human. So it's crazy what people are doing nowadays with just something like this and with the AI technology. There's a gentleman I work with on a side business who said that he has a friend and they used AI coding and technology to develop a program to come up with nutritional supplement combinations to sell online. So basically they are telling the AI computer come up with the best combination of ingredients of vitamins and minerals to solve arthritis problems for people. And it's new combinations, and then they brand it and then they sell it. Whereas before, humans had to kind of put it together, and the humans had to have the medical knowledge of what these minerals do and then what they do together, combined with a bunch of other things. But for technology and astronomy, what you see here, this first question that I asked it, what are some potential ways it can help prove things for astronomy and astrophysics, physics in the future? A lot of it, what I think it does best is streamlining processes for us and automating processes. So that will probably take away, some jobs that people have, but maybe it'll also allow those people to focus on more important things and let a machine kind of manage the minutia and the daily grind of tasks. Maybe they can take a few more vacations too. I don't know. And this thing, I think I can share the results from these questions that I've asked it. It's pretty interesting to read through some of this and see what the AI comes up with. And it pulls information from the internet and from a lot of other sources. However, it's limited to, I think it said it only has data and information up to October of 2021. So anything that has come into the news, like all of the new observations from James Webb and those discoveries since then, which there's have been quite a lot, anything that's come up since then, it can't really tell you anything. Likewise, it can't go mine or kind of scroll through a website and give you specific data on, kind of privately owned websites because of user privacy information. There's other privacy and security locks on those websites, and just kind of just a big no-no, I guess, right now in AI, which is good. He still keeps our data, some of our data private. But as I scroll down to say the next question, I'm trying to come up with all sorts of questions over the past few days for this AI thing, which is I'm on the free piece of it right now. So if you just go to chat.openai.com, even right now, you can start asking it questions from home, from your cell phone right there. You can upgrade to the plus, which gives you a few more features, but you can do already a lot with just lists. But for the second question, how will it streamline, say, the observational processes? So big research centers and observatories or universities that, again, they want to optimize and make their time efficient, because time is money, especially in the research, science, and technology world. If they want to save a little bit of money, time, and devote those resources to better means, then something like the AI technology could help them do things like that. I know a lot of businesses, even for my own businesses, I'm trying to use this just to help me speed up some of my website copywriting and social media posts, because who wants to sit on social media all the time and constantly watch your Facebook for the number of likes that you get on a new post or something? It's a big waste of time. So if you can have AI just come up with a bunch of that stuff, and it knows what people want and it knows what people are looking for, that's great. And then you get to go do more stuff that you enjoy. And it's the same for, the sciences, the astronomical observatories. They want to focus on more important things. They don't want to have to worry about figuring out the best 10 things to look at on this night, or what's the best schedule for this big observatory on Mauna Kea in Hawaii. What's the best schedule throughout the year for observations? If they receive 100 applications every year for people who want to observe using that telescope, say the Keck telescope on Mauna Kea, they have all that data coming in. They can use something like AI to tell them the best schedule throughout the year and how long to observe, what's the best use of their money, time, etc. I even asked, because I wasn't sure if it really knew about James Webb back in September, October 2021. So I asked them, can it build a better space telescope than Hubble? Can AI do it? Again, I'm thinking Terminator, who those movies just, yeah, that's what I keep thinking of whenever I use this. So I'm like, I better be careful what questions I ask it. But it can't necessarily do it itself, but it can provide a lot of data and insight and wisdom and tips, drawing from a lot of human knowledge of how to do it better. And it does know about James Webb, but of course, James Webb wasn't launched until the beginning of that next year, 2022. So it can only tell us what the potential of James Webb was going to be. It can't really tell us what it's doing nowadays until it's updated. You can try asking it this: what's the AI answer to the universe? It doesn't really have one. Isn't it 42 or something? But you can ask it kind of random questions like that. And then this is a really good one for a lot of you observers out there. So you can type a very specific question, and the more data, the more information that you give it, the better of an answer and suggestion it can give back to you. So I typed something like, I have an 8-inch Dobsonian telescope and I forget my types of lenses, but this is where I live. This is what I'm going to be observing. I want to observe all night long. Give me like the best 10 things I can observe that night and where they're going to be in the sky. Give me the lens I should use. It kind of breaks it down for me. And if the information that it gives you, say for this late evening, it tells me, look at these two Messier objects. Maybe I want some more information. The next question I ask can get more details and more information. So it kind of remembers your conversation with it. And just kind of looking on the left side of here, and this is just one version of the AI chat websites out there. But if you look on the left here, you can track your conversations and it can remember what you've told it and what you've asked it before. So again, with my next question, I asked, well, what lenses should I use for each of these objects? And from the things it just told me, it now breaks it down and tells me, say Messier 13, I should use the range of 25 to 32 millimeter eyepieces. For me, since I want to save time when I'm observing, and I just want to be able to enjoy the observing and not have to worry about fumbling around beforehand, planning everything out. Maybe that is enjoyable for a lot of people, that sort of experience. For me, I just want to enjoy the actual observing. So this can save me a lot of time of planning my observation night, especially if you are an astrophotographer. You can plan like a whole month's worth of nights in just a couple minutes, and then spend the rest of that month taking beautiful photos, relaxing by the lake, drinking your coffee, eating the hot dogs, whatever you like doing. When you're doing astrophotography, even from your home or from when you're camping. Another example, since we do a lot of outreach for school groups and adult groups, you could ask all sorts of questions about, like this example is, what's the best 5 or the first 5 constellations to teach school children? And you can go from any age range. Again, the more information you provide, the better. But for those of you doing the outreach programs, if you're stuck on something and you need help, I think I was trying to hear earlier something about a script for a program, or an introduction, or an email to a group, or an email to a library you want to reach out to push the Telescope Library program to, something along those lines. Just try asking the program something. Again, give it as much information as you can, and it spits out some good advice and pieces of info that you can then take and just adapt it to your environment. Let me skip. I just was trying to ask it a bunch of other questions. Here's an example of the 10 top stargazing events across the US, when they're held, and then what makes each of them special and unique. And guess who's up there? Nebraska Star Party. I think we should be number 1, but okay, we'll still take the top 10. I mean, we're up there. What makes us unique? We provide a friendly and welcoming environment for stargazers of all levels, and we can enjoy the darkest skies. We should tell AI to adjust that, and various astronomy related activities. So for me, yeah, that's kind of unique, but what if I wanted to know more unique features? I can ask it further. So you just type in here, based upon that list, number 9, give me some more.
Jordan, give us just a second to reboot. It was 9 o'clock.
Yep,
Still
you're
haven't
good.
gotten the tech guys to keep us alive till 10. So give us just a moment. The screens are coming down.
Yep.
Hey there, she says.
Waiting on the projectors to warm up here. And we're back. That was our commercial break, I guess.
You never left.
Did we lose her?
Oh,
Jordan?
Yep, still here.
Fire away.
Okay, just going back to kind of something I brought up earlier, how this AI technology could help the bigger observatories make more efficient use of their observing times and schedules. These are some of the details that came up from that sort of question. And that reminds me of, say, Allison with her work and where she's at. They have a lot of data over how many decades of observing that needs to be filed. Well, not only filed, but like categorized, organized, filed away, and put in a manner that is easy to read. Well, I think eventually people are going to be using the AI to create code to do all of that for them. And it might take a while to make that code, but once you're done, you press go, you put your data set in there, and it does it all for you in maybe a day. And so again, it can take the work away from some humans, but then maybe that time and that the experience that human has and the knowledge, they can put it to something that's a lot better than kind of sitting and trying to do what a computer can do easily. A lot of it is the automation of just repetitive tasks. When we don't have to do repetitive tasks all the time, we have a lot more opportunity for innovation, I think. Let me see. I'm almost here to where we're going to get to your guys' questions. Aha, here's something. So this is something even more specific for us. So I mentioned the OAS and who we are, what we do. And I was asking the AI, can you give me 10 ways to maybe streamline, optimize, improve just monthly functions, meetings, etc., make it easier for members in the board to do things. What can AI do for us? And how does it help? And it gave 10 things, and some of it, again, is the outreach coordination. So it can automatically send the emails to you or suggest events, provide the scripts and the schedule of the evening, can take care of your social media engagement and ideas. So you don't have to do that. You can focus more on interacting with the people. Again, if you have those events like the public stargazing nights, it can promote it for you, and it can spit out optimized text to the point where you like rank #1 in the Google search and everyone sees you. So it's kind of impressive how, again, this thing can just take these repetitive tasks and allow us to focus on more important things. Then I think for that, this was maybe the last thing I wanted to ask it. What things are not yet solved in astronomy and physics? Say some theories, some things that don't have theories yet to explain them. And most of them that they come up with are kind of the things that people you hear about a lot anyways, but they never give solid answers about. Of course, dark matter and dark energy, the top two. The nature of time, whether time is real or not, and how it just breaks down in certain areas, and especially those small particles like the neutrinos. So again, this thing is really impressive what it can tell you, but in the end, still go back to the internet and try to research whether everything that they give you is accurate, especially if you're dealing with like dates, names, specific data, because it only goes up to about the end of 2021. So now that you have seen a little bit about what this thing can do and some of the answers that it gives you, what sort of questions did all of you come up with that maybe you would want to try asking it? And I can try typing it in. We can see what it comes up with, and maybe take 10 questions. Even if you have a really funny, quirky question, let's try it out.
Gordon, this is Sonali. I have a question.
Mhm.
Where is the location of the planet beyond Neptune?
Location.
What is the location?
What is the location? What is the planet?
Planet X.
Oh, okay. Planet X. What is the location of Planet X? Is that the question?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And I hope it doesn't say Jupiter.
Hypothetical undiscovered planet beyond Pluto. Well, it says check with reputable astronomical sources or news outlets for the most up-to-date info. I don't think it knows either.
Anybody, who's next?
There's a couple in the chat.
There's some in the chat room.
Chat room. Let me see if I can pull that up. Oh, okay, here we go. Mike, yeah, let me copy this. The question is, I'm an amateur astronomer in Weeping Water, Nebraska. What's the best day in 2024 to observe a Messier marathon? And what is the most optimized order for observing all the Messier objects that night?
That's 2 questions.
All right, oh wait. Not that. All right, there we go. What's the way? All righty. Did I get that? All of them?
Since we're not looking at nothing in the sky.
Ooh, sometimes it gives you a long answer too. And at the very end, it always says, always check your local data source, your weather source, etc.
Time is OAS in tonight. Can I answer that one?
Can't provide real-time info. So as long as you follow those pieces of advice, and here it could be an optimized order. So again, sometimes it's limited, again, since it only goes up to 2021. Hopefully the next update they do will be updated to maybe mid 2023. I don't know when they're gonna update it next, but it takes quite a bit of data, of course, to do that. But it says use a wide field of view telescope / lens. That makes sense to you for your equipment. And of course, red light, that's important. That's a good tip. So yeah, it's kind of a date dependent for sometimes a question like that. Good question though.
It's not gonna go beyond 2020.
And then the next question in the chat from
The data that it sources from, it stops in 2021. So they fed the data from the internet into it. And they don't have anything.
All of human knowledge.
Yeah, so they have another version coming out.
Is writing another thing.
Yeah, so give it a couple months maybe, and then you might be able to ask it again. What was the best date in 2023, 2024? Okay, so the next question we have from the chat, how can I tell the difference between sky glow and aurora?
In the neighborhood.
Alrighty. Sky glow and aurora. I'll give you all a moment. If anyone else from the chat has some questions, go ahead and type those in, and then anyone in the room, as you all reading this, maybe, I don't know how you're doing the questioning with the microphone, but maybe raise your hand so John can go around to you.
I'll ask the dirty question. Go for it.
I'm coming. I'm holding the mic. Getting around. Whose phone is?
Okay, so we've talked about the blue sky things. Now what about the dark sky stuff? Like I've heard, and I'm sure people have heard, where there's a guy at Google, and I'm putting quotation marks in the world, supposedly found out what they were doing with AI at Google and quit, and you hear things like AI's learned to know, one of the sessions of AI has learned a foreign language by itself. I mean, how much of this is true and how much is just somebody trying to get eyes and rear ends in front of a television?
I think that's more people wanting to get eyes.
Just,
I'm not an
how
expert,
possible is that? I mean,
but the way the large language models work is that data is fed into it only up to a certain date and time. So when it says, hey, it's learned something else, they couldn't tell you how it learned it. Right? So if you feed in a Korean dictionary and now it knows Korean, okay, well, it's the Korean dictionary. So
can you go ask in Seoul, where's the bathroom? How much do I tip? Where's the North Korean border?
yeah, but there are these things called hallucinations. The computer will have a hallucination, which is incorrect information, but it presents it in a way that it sounds like authoritative.
So it's
And
kind of
that's
like Ronald Reagan.
why it says, please.
Did I just- I've been watching, I've been listening to this thing, it's called, it's on Reagan, it's the fall of Nixon and the rise of Reagan. It gets bad.
So, I have one last question for you to put in there, Jordan.
Yeah.
How to deal with a flat earther?
Deal with a flat earther. Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, just all of the above.
Logically.
Logically.
Sky officially pink during the day. Let's ask the jump.
No, it's blue.
Figure it out.
Stay calm. It's all colors, but you only see what's not absorbed.
Share personal experience. I've been to outer space. I can tell you it's round. That might be the best personal experience.
Yeah. Related to that, I heard a great way about people who come up to you and say that the moon landings were fake.
Ah,
Then it's like, If that's true, then why did the Soviets congratulate the United States?
Yeah.
I mean, they tracked it with their radar like everybody else, all the way up to the moon.
Mhm.
More than just America exploring the great beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Earth. Sure. So why does America always want to take NASA or whoever always want to take accreditation
Earth's
from what other countries are doing? I mean, are they all in one spaceship or is it different spaceships?
it's all different.
Sectors of
Different
the-
spaceships.
And so they just pass these, they just.
I think it's because we're in the United States, you hear more NASA than the others, like Jack's
we don't
just
even
did
know.
another.
Okay.
These names.
Would you put in the observing date?
Jack's in Japan.
PSA, Roscosmos.
Do they have American
So we had the question from Kim, why is the Earth sky pink?
or
And it gives us three things. And like John was saying too, if you're using this for suggestions from the AI for your best schedule or copywriting or an email, again, just double check it because again, Google will flag you if it sounds too fake. And it'll spit out whatever data it's picked up, and some of the data could be wrong. So again, double check it all, especially if you're doing something maybe scientific or with technology or legal, especially or medical, because even the medical centers, they all have some agreement on things and sometimes they disagree on things. But there's some easy questions too.
I use ChatGPT to help write that grant.
Oh, nice.
No, just use whatever you use.
Oh,
She's just saying this.
Mike used ChatGPT to help write the grant that we received from HDR.
Nice. Perfect example.
Jordan,
Alright,
one
yes.
question from Louis.
Yep.
When you put in what is viewable on August 4th,
Yes.
what year did it report? Well, what year did you ask?
I think I asked 2023.
Yes, she did.
And it said.
You should
what?
scrolling back.
Yeah,
It's trying to catch up.
Was the day, this the other day.
Today's the 4th. Isn't it? Yeah. Took me a second.
Getting accreditations or something for asking questions to this thing?
Kinda.
Anybody can. This is just on the internet.
It's a long time talking about a website that's 2-3 years out of date.
Okay. Yeah. So on here, yeah, I did for August 4th, 2023.
As a commoner coming on the street.
Here it goes, right at the beginning. It says, note that those specific conditions say for your location and the visibility varies, as well as my knowledge is based on info up to September 2021. So he does not have real-time data. However, these could be the most accurate up-to-date info based on websites like these and the apps that have maybe predicting tools and maybe the data on their sites. So based off of those, this is what it would suggest, but I don't think it can give perfect suggestions. So I would have to still go back and maybe double check a little bit, but it could still save me some time.
Well, it said that Jupiter and Saturn were evening objects and that Venus was a morning object,
That's a nice.
which aren't true.
Right, so go
Yeah,
back and.
But there are ephemeride back in the early 20s that would have listed where Jupiter and Saturn are now. So it's not information that it shouldn't have had.
Sky Safari.
It was just blatantly wrong.
Incomplete
It was
information.
blatantly wrong.
Sky Safari can tell you out to.
Does this app go to sleep?
Who knows? It's up all the time.
Do electronic sheep or do androids dream of electronic sheep?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford wouldn't like it if you said that.
Yeah, so that was just a quick interactive session for the night, but I suggest you just go on and try it and see what sort of things it spits out for you. Always double check your stuff and just have fun talking to it, I guess.
Grammar checker.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah.
I still like.
Guys, appreciate your time. And how do I do that? Okay.
I still like the grammar book. It's an English major thing.
Yeah, no.
There's a shirt.
Probably much rather just say.
Okay. Gotta get back to my slides here real quick.
Next. Take it back from my hand.
AP style guide doesn't see much use.
MLA. GPA is the other part of the
AP, I was a journalism guy.
MLA.
See, did you?
Okay, you didn't see.
Astronomy, it's all over our heads.
I go back and try to find another.
Mike used it.
When you're here to use the OAS guest,
He was happy with it.
that's what you need to do. I
He didn't,
use
he
the
didn't,
draft one.
it didn't write the grant. It used
Oh,
the
yeah.
grant.
The OAS guest is mine I brought from home. It's sitting right here.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That kind
It's
of-
written up there.
It's better than sorry.
I signed up to UNO for you.
Yeah.
You're running through, I signed it in with my account and it's running.
I haven't either.
It makes it easier
Okay,
for everybody.
Yeah, I played the team with the team.
Yeah, I took one for the team. I put my email address in every month. At least it doesn't take me 20 minutes to do anymore. I've got it down to at least 3 minutes.
Nice. If I had a quicker, easier way, I'd give it. to
I
you
know.
again, But they took it away.
Yeah.
I usually have to like walk outside to get.
Get the email. Yeah. Okay, meeting minutes. It's now the business meeting. Let's try to roll. Ready? I'm just gonna kind of. Because Diana's doing the minutes right now. We're just gonna let it roll through the screen. So the meeting, I'm just gonna do it real quick. Is that okay, Diana?
Yep.
Okay, meeting was in July on the 7th, 7:30. 25 members present, 1 guest, 11 on Zoom. We had the usual thing, no awards. We talked about observing. One was July 3rd, new moon was the 17th, which was in Nebraska Star Party. Talked about the meteor showers and all the outreach. There was not as much outreach in July because NSP. And encouraged to send an email. Look for club information for outreach. There is a link on the website. We talked about NSP coming up. We talked about the Star Party in September for members. Talked about the telescope loan program. We discussed marketing and deployment of the tick tubes. Jordan did the museum in the sky presentation. There was a special presentation, Mike Motors on behalf of OAS, for getting a grant for the library telescope program, in which we had the large check appear, both in paper form and monetary.
Correction, Carmen is not an engineer.
Oh, is that a correction for the minutes? HDR engineering.
He's a senior scientist. Not an engineer.
Okay.
Not that that
Senior scientist.
So amended as senior scientist. Need a motion. Keep track of people who participate and hours we spend on modifying telescopes. Business meeting, we read the minutes, treasurer's report. Talk about the Star Party. Oops, I went the wrong way. Okay. Notes. We did send in the ballot for the AL secretary and 2 bylaw amendments. Did the donation, IDA, Astronomical League dues. And we talked about Astro Park, and we followed up on some old things, as well as we talked about new business of setting up member only regular star parties and non-observing social events. And we need to have someone step up to coordinate these events. I might make it an appointed position. Bill Bond had asked Chris to test him about UNO's Current policy is on snacks. There's snacks. Are you happy, Bill?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
What was that?
Carrie. We talked about the meeting tonight. Call for, I'll say, do we accept the do we have a motion to accept the minutes as amended? Wilson.
I'll second it.
Either way, I don't need a second.
Oh, okay, Cleet Baker seconds. I'm not writing it in my right spot. A motion has been made and seconded to accept the minutes as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed. Thank you. Treasurer's report. You got your paper, or you want me to just put it up on the screen?
You can just put it on the screen.
Okay,
You can just go over it if you want.
okay. It's called saving time on budget of time. Income $374.95 in dues. The check from HDR Foundation for the grant, $19,350. Total income $19,724.95. There were no expenditures last month. Balance in July was $32,334.13. Now we are keeping track of the telescope loan program, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Is Steve still on?
I am still here. Unfortunately, I have not visited the log station this past month. I do intend to get out there in the next 2 weeks for a personal work day and to visit the log station. I did get the contact information from Mike Gallagher for the lawn mowing people and for the lighthouse servicing people. And I'll be following up on the lighthouse next week. I've been out of town this week, so I didn't have a chance.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't have anything else to report.
Cool. Thank you, Steve.
John?
Yes, sir.
I have a question about the treasurer's report. I'm wondering, the IRS specifies that 501c3s can fill out an annual, they call it a postcard return. If they don't have an income greater than, is it $25,000?
I think it's 50,000.
It's how much?
50,000.
It's 50,000, okay.
Okay, good.
That was what I wanted to make sure of. I didn't
Yeah.
remember.
You mean the 440?
Sure, we put us up pretty high, but not high enough.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted to find out. Thanks.
Okay, is that like the form 440? Is it a different one?
Well, it's a form 990.
Oh, 990, okay.
And more pleasurable part of this job.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to kind of keep our grant expenditures tracked very well for our grant. Nothing on Prairie STEM, okay?
I sent him a message actually the other day.
Okay. Israel Committee meeting, third Saturday at the Brain Exchange, that's this month, which is the 19th. Any grant updates? Check was here.
We got the monies.
Anything else on that? There,
Money got deposited, it's ready to,
cool.
you can spend it.
Yeah, we got the order form for the 50 telescopes and 50 eyepieces I gave to Mike, so we're gonna get that ordered here sometime probably next week. I gotta finalize the logistics for receiving 4 pallets of telescopes.
Yeah. If we thought Stafford's house was full of telescopes, 50 telescopes, it's gonna require a bit of ingenious storage Tetris.
Carmen's super excited.
I'm sure he is. I'm probably gonna have some at my house.
Yeah, if anybody has a bunch of extra storage space.
What type of scopes did you buy with the libraries?
They're Orion Star Blasts,
4.5s.
4.5 inch Star Blasts,
Yeah, the little tabletop.
tabletop reflectors. Yeah.
So they come in a box.
If everybody's got a like spare garage or something they want to.
We've got some extra space. We can.
So
Foster a
Definitely needs to be
telescope.
climate control though.
What?
Climate control. You don't want them in a backyard shed somewhere.
I don't, why, like, as long as they don't get wet, I don't
Yeah,
care.
don't want wet is all.
Dry is all I care. Cold, hot, that don't matter to me, or the telescopes as far as I go.
Humidity might be a problem.
Yeah, my only
Dry.
concern is if it was freight. And they show up, they say, where's your loading dock?
Right.
And then then you need a separate truck
Right.
with a lift, and then it's gonna be more money. But,
Well, the shipping's free.
okay,
There will not, I doubt that they're gonna spring for the lift gate.
You can take the skids down in the truck, one piece at a time.
I'm working, they're either going to be delivered to my shop. If I can figure out when they're gonna come and I can be there, so unload them, we got a mini skid with a fork that I can unload it with. Or else I will have it sent to my old employer, who I've contacted and is willing, they have a loading dock and a forklift, and they're willing to receive them for me.
awesome.
Which is probably the best option, because then there's always, they actually have like warehouse people, there's always somebody there. And they can store them for it's very short term, I promised him, not too long. And maybe even deliver them to me from there, because they have a lift gate truck. For that. But yes, yeah, that was the whole thing, because they tried to charge me like $1,200 or $1,000 in freight,
Good night, Irene.
even though they're supposed to all be free shipping. We got that figured out.
Maybe this month, definitely next meeting.
All right.
Hooray!
Thanks.
And reestablish building pad numbers after park, I still haven't I need to get stencils, is what it is. And I need to work on the member schedule. I got an idea kind of how I'm gonna do it. So that you can access it easily. I think we didn't have an old business was the social media person, social chair for events. Anybody interested? We'll just think about it.
Non-astronomy related.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's like 15 minutes a month.
What do you,
Probably do the
what
whole
does
year,
that
about a half
involve?
hour.
How about the coordinating crew tonight?
Do you have to post on like Facebook?
No, it's for members only, so it'd be like Discord
Oh,
or by email.
Just set up a.
It's not, you have to post it publicly. It's like, hey, there's some people going to see Oppenheimer on Saturday. Go on and go.
He dies.
Oh, man.
Sorry. Isn't that a spoiler for every biography?
Last week it was a real blast.
Yeah, it was.
Blow your eyes out. Yeah, you're sick for days.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I went through that pretty quick. Eric, do you want to talk about NSP?
Sure. Anybody have any questions in general? Should I come up here?
Just do that if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Just general questions.
Yeah, generally, because I think you guys want to know just general information. As was said, we had a little over 380 people, you guys, and I had a question on public Star Party night. Oh, thank you. Okay, public Star Party night, how many people were there? And of you folks that were there, an estimate, because I talked to John Johnson about it. And he said there was about 30 or so people, but when he was giving the constellation talk.
Eric,
Hmm.
I counted about 27 people for the Nebraska presentation for dark skies.
Oh, okay, yeah. well, we
But
did.
I
Sure.
wasn't there for the constellation talk,
Sure, because there was a group of us.
so I don't know how many were there then,
Yeah.
but there were about 27 people
Okay,
there for the discussion about pollinators and
right,
prairie
Right.
plants.
right, yeah,
I was the prettiest coneflower you ever saw.
cool. And I thought it was neat too that your speakers worked.
even at that distance, people, you know, she was mic'd up on your speakers there by the tent, so it was kind of cool. Anyway, I learned from late that if you're 32 feet away, you don't have feedback, is that right?
That's
Basically,
correct.
something like that.
You have to be 32, if you're gonna be in front of the speakers, you gotta be 32 feet away or more.
Or more, and then you don't have feedback like we have up there, but anyways, so, it was just neat, so there was 27 people for the Nebraska Game and Parks, they did a program, you guys. That program that Nina was, and the nature walk that we did was, one of the 4 programs that Nebraska Game and Park needs to do to kind of do their certification for the designation for the International Dark Sky, which is now called the Dark Sky International, so they switched their names, so. Anyway, you guys, so that was part of that, and that was, I think, the 3rd installment. They have one more program to do, which I think they're gonna do in September up there. Anyway, so we did that, and then we had the constellation talk. The people, a lot of us, I know we were looking at the moon and then later on, giving tours of the universe, constellation talk. So I don't know, so anyway, that would be the additional people that would come
I
on.
don't know.
Oh, that's right.
Public versus how many were.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was very well attended.
Yeah, so.
In Jordan.
So anyway, so it was a good time. Obviously for you folks that weren't there, I'd say the first half of the week, you guys, we had the clouds and we had the smoke from courtesy of Canada. You kind of wonder, you guys, since, I mean, I had friends of mine that went out to New York the month before, early in June for a Yankees game, and I couldn't believe it. You wonder how much is left of Canada, you know, for this as this keeps burning.
They're moving in.
Yeah, so anyway, it's either Canada's very, very large or, you know, or there isn't gonna be much left up there. So, and then the second half of the week was neat, it kind of cleared off, so. And we had some good nights on Wednesday, and then you folks that persevered, Thursday night, Friday, early morning. I guess it really cleared off after the thunderstorm, and then Friday night was a good night because some of us left 8:30, both Wednesday morning and dog road, so like that. So anyways, a good time had by all. Just so you guys know, apart from Nebraska, obviously, we have a lot of people come from Nebraska, but this is preliminary data that we had. And obviously, there's a lot of people from Omaha, more people than Lincoln, and that goes because of our populations of the 2 cities, it makes sense. And then I want you to know, you guys, then we had a lot of people from Illinois, and then this year especially, I met a lot of people from the Atlanta, Georgia Astronomy Club. We have a real good. Pardon me?
There was someone from Maine.
Yes, and there was someone from Maine, yeah, but I thought it was just really, really neat. We're kind of getting, you guys, over the last 5 years, we've been having people trickle in from Georgia, and especially the Atlanta Star Club. And this year we had really a lot of people from, to me, it was, I would say that after Illinois and Iowa, we probably had Georgia was the next most people that came. So it was kind of neat, and I got to talk to some of the gentlemen there. So I want you to know the club down there loves us up there. They really they have gotten the word out to the whole club there, and I think we'll be seeing more and more people as the word gets out of the dark sky designation we have, and so on and so forth. So that's all I have, unless you guys have any questions. So
What were the dates for next year?
dates for next year, you guys, officially is going to be July 28th through August 2nd and 3rd. Okay, that Saturday. So
Call it the second.
pardon me.
Call it the second.
The second, that is.
The second is the Saturday, or is the Friday.
Is the Friday, yeah, so, yeah, we leave on the 3rd, and unless some of us stay later. So, yeah. So they'll, all right, thanks.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, you just heard the dates for NSP next August,
No, July.
July and August, right? That Friday would be an OAS meeting. Wait, worry about that in January. Just putting that out there, we'll need to reschedule the August or bypass it, depending on how we do.
We've done that before.
We've done it before. We'll have to look at July for next year too. So if I've moved in a certain direction.
Any other items?
One question here,
Yes.
because I'm unfamiliar with the bylaws. So you've got 50 telescopes coming
Mhm,
and they're gonna be a short-term storage.
mhm.
You thought about renting, do you have the ability to make the decision to rent, or does it have to be a larger group decision? You rent a storage facility to put them in instead of trying to cram them in people's garages and potentially lose control of a bunch of telescopes spread across 14.
I mean, they'll fit in my living room if I need them to.
But what, you got, what I'm saying here, again, I'm brand new, I'm a member of the club as of yesterday, but you've got $12,000 in one budget, $19,000 in another budget. We're gonna fill your living room up full of telescopes. It does not make sense. For a storage facility that's gonna cost you
Well, it's like-
$50 to $100 a month.
Yeah, but it's like,
That's an excellent idea.
hopefully not very
I think so
long,
too.
but we'll start. pumping
I'm
those
just,
out.
I'm just asking why.
No, I appreciate
As
that.
I told you earlier, I'm part of a B club. We've got a $25,000 budget and I've got the same exact questions every time somebody does something like that. And I just bring that up as a discussion. In case you have to vote on it, if indeed you want to go that route. Other than that, I don't know your bylaws, so I just bring it up.
Which could be a part of that $19,000. No,
Yeah, well, the telescopes are $750 more than I had budgeted for because the price went up.
oh, okay.
But the price for the robotic telescope went down a little bit, so it's kind of a wash there. There's not a whole lot of any extra room in that, in the grant funds, at least for what we want to do with it.
Okay.
I'm totally fine with having, I'll just stack them 4 high and stick them in the back of my.
And when's your divorce gonna start?
Does your wife get to vote?
That's the other.
She's the co-sponsor of the grant, so.
It's her fault.
She has the check, the comically large check.
Like the conch?
Oh, here,
So,
oh,
Good. For her and for her work, it's a good thing for her to have her name out there for that.
And
But anyways,
that's an excellent point, to take care of our new assets, those 50 telescopes, by spending a little money to store them in a safe place.
we've talked informally, I
Storage
think,
places
about
aren't always safe neither.
getting a storage place to maybe unburden Stafford's son.
We'll talk later.
In general,
I've
but-
got some ideas. We can talk later.
Yeah, as of right now, I can I'm probably just gonna end up talking to my boss and storing them in our shop where we have warehouse space. In the interim, until we decide when we're gonna do our work days to build all 50 of those into fully functional library telescopes. Which I encourage you all to look for that email, because I'll need all the help we can get. That'll be a big group event. There'll be food, so we'll feed you if you work. Or if you just watch, you'll still get food.
On the same note, do we have to order all 50 at once?
Don't have, when they were wanting to charge me that extra 1,000 of shipping, I would say, well, screw you, I'll just order one at a time, 50 times, and you can process each order separately and give me free shipping that way, but we got that worked out.
Good for you.
Don-
They didn't want to do the credit card transactions.
Yeah, plus they'd have to process credit card. I was like, help me help you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Don Ficken down in St. Louis, who's kind of the head honcho for the library stuff, library telescope stuff. He's got a contact, he smoothed it out and, so now we're. Yeah. And then Mike, I think he signed up for a debit card now, so we can place some online orders from our account. For the other fun stuff, the solar scopes and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I don't have to put those on my card. No, I definitely appreciate the concept, the comment. And if we wanted to get a storage area, I think it'd be more for the loan program scopes than just this, because this would be like 1 or 2 months, and then hopefully they're all gonna be going out to all the libraries in a turn them and burn them as fast as we can. I've started working on the little application form that I'm gonna send out to all the libraries. So,
When did you say we would start building them again?
Probably September or October, depending upon when they come in.
yeah, they're not, even if we ordered them now, they're not gonna come in probably until mid-September. Would be my guess, the way that the shipping date has been
going back and back and back on their website, the estimated back order date. We'll probably get the eyepieces first and then whenever they ship the telescopes.
I'll help you send the IPs.
Yeah, we'll probably do 2 sessions, 25 telescopes each session. And those will be downtown at the Rain Exchange probably, unless.
That's where we went last time,
Mhm.
the first time, the only time I know.
Yep,
Okay.
same spot.
All right.
Yeah, sometime this winter, never, fall. Sure.
Any other questions? Any other new business you want to bring up?
Actually,
Yes,
we
Kim.
had someone ask on Facebook page if anybody else saw a super bright meteor Wednesday, August 2nd, 10:30 PM. I told him I would ask the group and see if anybody else happened to catch it. He did go online and report it to American Meteor Society. And yes, plenty of other people saw it, but he was the only one from our area. He's out at like 168th and
I was on
something,
it.
Maple,
Mhm.
It's on that website for the very first time.
so nobody saw it. Okay.
I saw one
It was a
Saturday, the
shot in the dark.
29th.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was in the south.
Maybe that could be a tool time on how to report meteors
Okay.
sometime, because I know you've done it before, Kim.
Yeah, she's done it before.
Sounds good.
Refresher.
Report a fireball.
Find the recorded one.
I don't know if that was recorded.
No.
Okay.
We weren't doing it yet.
Nope.
So in 2 meetings' time, it'll be October, which means elections. Just putting that out there. Are you wondering if I'm running again?
Nominate you again.
I was gonna wait till you left the room.
Be a right.
I see.
Everybody just writes you in anyways, so I do well. Maybe not.
Mickey Mouse won again?
He's public domain now.
Yeah.
Disney's getting rid of him. Seriously.
Motion to close.
Second.
Hey,
Getting stuff done.
Bill. And Bond. John.
Thomas.
Oh, this
Thomas.
is the Tom section. That's the Mike section.
And that's with an H, John.
Yes.
The motions are made and seconded to adjourn the business meeting. All those in favor say aye.
I.
Thank you.
Happens if somebody opposes.
Then we're stuck here until 10 when we have to get out.
Gavel until they change their minds. If anybody's interested, we'll be going to 9 House.